two things that are really important. The first thing that's really important is obviously the zinc and getting zinc into the cow.
Yep.
And so you want a good quality zinc that's very low water and high zinc content and high purity. And then the second thing that you need is you need the cofactor minerals that work with the zinc. And so the cofactor minerals, they boost the immune system of the cow, and they protect, or they help protect the liver.
Yep.
They help reduce the toxins. So copper is a classic for helping to, and selenium as well.
Yep.
They actually help to detoxify or get rid of some of those toxins in the cow along with the zinc.
Yep.
And also B12 helps the liver to regenerate.
Kia ora team, what's up? We're here with Shaun from Advance, and look, we've just been covering a variety of different videos around eczema, and I just thought I'd ask a question just around products that are available for farmers, because there's a whole lot of ways we can get zinc into cows. Some of them are easy, some of them are hard. You know, out of some of the product range that you guys have, what would you recommend that would be suitable for farmers at the moment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, there's two main types. You have your water-soluble zinc products out there. So there's a massive variety of those, which I can talk about. Then you have your feed-based products. So, and you also can drench some of those feed-based products as well.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, your feed-based products can go through your in-shed feeding or through your mix wagon, and obviously your water-based products go through a in-trough dispenser or a in-line dispenser. So there's a whole lot of different ways of doing it. And like we were talking about before, the most important thing is measuring your cow so that you know how effective your zinc strategy is. So some farmers will do a little bit of water and feed, some farmers will only do feed, some farmers will only do water, and that works well for them. So yeah, it's just all about measurement, making sure that you're getting that zinc into the cows effectively, essentially. So to answer your original question, which I haven't answered yet, so Advance have SoluTrace FE, which you're holding there, and so that's a mixture of zinc sulfate monohydrate, then copper, cobalt, iodine, selenium, boron and chromium, basically all the other cofactor minerals that go along with the zinc, essentially. So
cofactor minerals.
Yeah. So there's two things that are really important. The first thing that's really important is obviously the zinc and getting zinc into the cow. And so you want a good quality zinc that's very low water and high zinc content and high purity. And then the second thing that you need is you need the cofactor minerals that work with the zinc. And so the cofactor minerals, they boost the immune system of the cow, and they protect, or they help protect the liver. They help reduce the toxins. So copper is a classic for helping to, and selenium as well. They actually help to detoxify or get rid of some of those toxins in the cow along with the zinc. And also B12 helps the liver to regenerate. So it helps the dead liver cells to basically turn over and for the liver to rebuild new healthy cells again. So those cofactor minerals are really important to help protect the cow from facial eczema. And obviously to protect the liver as well.
And so I can chuck that straight into my dosatron? Yep.
It goes through your dosatron in trough dispensers. It's basically just a water-soluble zinc trace mineral product, I guess. Yeah.
I remember being like 14 and going around with our little like 3-litre container of zinc dispenser with the little copper or brass head on it, I think it was.
Yep, the petted dispensers.
That's the one, and it had all the holes in it.
That's still
And I
around.
remember mixing the zinc into a bucket and tipping it in, and it being frickin' freezing. It's like a chemical reaction or something, that makes it go cold.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, some like sulfated minerals can do that.
It's crazy. I just remember being in the middle of summer, mixing the stuff and being like,
it's going cold.
Freezing, you know?
Yeah, chemicals or minerals in water, sometimes they can be quite reactive. Definitely.
I think this would be a lot more user-friendly for a farmer, because it was a pain in the ass. Like having to go from that trough and drag it down, put it into that trough, and you often forget sometimes. So maybe that was the problem. Maybe it was me.
Who knows? So the real key thing with any mineral product or any combination product is obviously you need good quality zinc to go with it, but it's the copper element. So I don't know if you remember before we were talking about how copper actually increases the toxicity of the facial eczema spore.
Yep.
So it's also it's a real negative in the cow. So we want to get rid of
Ramps
free.
it up, eh?
That's exactly right. So we want to get rid of free copper out of the rumen. So palm kernel has a lot of free copper in it. Copper sulfate is a big no-no. So any sources of copper that are not rumen protected, we want to keep out of it. But the SoluTrace FE has copper in it, but it has a rumen protected German grade plexomin chelate. So what that means, and I know there's a lot of words in there,
no,
but basically what that means is it's really high quality and it's extremely well chelated. So we have, you know, really good confidence that none of that copper is going to become free in the rumen.
Available for the...
Exactly. So, but the good thing about that is the copper that goes through the rumen protected, so it's not available in the rumen, but it is available to the blood stream of the cow and the liver and a whole lot of other parts of the cow. That copper is really, really important for detoxifying and helping support the cow when she's under stress. And obviously facial eczema causes a lot of stress. So that copper element is really important, but it's most important that it's not available in the rumen as free copper. So that's probably the number one thing to look for if you're looking at any combination mineral product for helping for facial eczema dosing, basically.
Wicked. And so, like palm kernel, is there anything you can do to stop that from being available in the rumen?
Yeah, great question. Unfortunately, you can't reduce the availability of the copper. You can feed less palm kernel, which will drop the amount of copper available to the cow, or feed more zinc to counteract that copper. Because if
you can't get rid of it.
Nah, because zinc and copper actually do compete against each other. So if you have free copper and you have lots of zinc in there, that will help to reduce how much copper, kind of. So it's actually really complicated and I don't fully understand because we haven't done all the research around it, but there is, like zinc will compete with copper and reduce its effectiveness. But
just suck it out of the system.
Get rid of it, by a long shot.
So because the positives that come from palm kernel don't outweigh the negatives in terms of production, right?
No, unfortunately not. It's hard because exactly. It is hard in a low payout year. But if you can put another supplement in rather than palm kernel, especially over high risk facial eczema times, then that definitely is beneficial.
Have you got any type of feed that you'd recommend? Like that would give similar ME?
It's tricky. It depends on price really. But there's a lot of other feeds out there, different meals and things. You know, you can put DDG or corn gluten, those sort of products, soya hulls, or you can just replace it with a bit of silage or something else if you need the extra kilos. The other thing you can do is get your palm kernel tested and just see how much free copper is actually in it. So that is another way of looking at where the risk sits for you, because not all palm kernel has high levels of copper. Well, I'll say that differently. Palm kernel fluctuates. Some palm kernel has 20 parts per million of copper. Some palm kernel has less than half of that. So you could test it and just see where the risk is. But if you want to eliminate the risk, definitely take palm kernel out of the system and make sure there's no other copper in there. You know, sometimes meals come with a bit of copper sulfate in it. Sometimes you can give, there might be other sources in the water or whatever else in combinations with other things.
So calves get facial eczema. They get it quite bad. They're obviously, sometimes you're feeding them 1.5 kilos, 2 kilos of meal a day. And that would be, in comparison to a cow body weight, could be like feeding a cow 8 to 10 kilos of meal. Like per kilo of live weight. Does the meal have copper in it?
It shouldn't do, but sometimes some calf meals do. Your early starter calf meals will have probably some mineral component to them. But your basic meals that you're feeding older calves, which usually they will be a bit older through the facial eczema period, they shouldn't have copper in them. But as always, just check your products, check the bag, see what's in it, and or talk to the feed company.
So eczema has the same effect on a young cow as it does to an old cow? It doesn't change at all?
Nope.
Wicked.
It's basically the same right across. If the cow has had previous liver damage, she is potentially more susceptible to the effects of the toxin. So that is something to keep an eye on. But quite hard to tell because you can't see anything from the outside of the cow. It's all internal. So
legally,
Yep.
Those tests done, T?
Yep, absolutely. Test that blood for zinc and GGT.
Wicked.
Very important.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys in the next video. We'll talk about hopefully another product.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Wicked.
Yep. Opti-full zinc, I think we'll grab.
Wicked. Awesome. Sweet team. See you guys later. If you guys want to know any more about this video, check the comments. Otherwise, if you want to ask any questions, check comment in, and either myself or Shaun will get back to you. Ciao.